Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second episode of season 3 of the Diversity BW Hotelier, the GM show. This is our second show today. Just got over with the first episode. Let me bring in my partners in crime, Diversity. They've held our hand together now 3 seasons running actually. So here we come in with their video. We've had a fantastic discussion earlier today, and now we turn our attention to another fascinating topic, classic GM strategies for metropolitan excellence in luxury and economy. The bustling metropolitan regions of India are dynamic markets that are demand innovation, agility, and leadership. Today, we are joined by some of the finest minds in hospitality to delve into strategies that define success in both luxury and the economy segments. I'm your host, Bhuvanesh Khanna, and I'm thrilled to be joined by our esteemed moderator, Atul Bhalla, who's the Vice President Operations for the West and North for ITC Hotels. Welcome to the show, Atul.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh. It's so glad to be part of this show. And I'm happy that I've come back again here. So a session today delves into strategies that empower general managers to achieve metropolitan excellence, balancing premium experiences with cost-effective solutions. So to introduce my panelists, eminent panelists who are the stalwarts of the industry, Surinder Singh, Area Director, Ops and General Manager, Taj Citycentre, Gurugram. Michel, Koopman, Vice President Operations, Unison Hotels and General Manager, The Grand, New Delhi. Tarun, Seth, General Manager, Grand Hyatt, Gurgaon. Gaurav, Apte, Area General Manager, IHG South West Asia and GM Crowne Plaza, Gurgaon. And Davinder, General Manager, Eros Hotel, New Delhi, Nehru Place. Welcome, panelists, and so good to have you on the show. So,
Thank you. So, Atul, why don't I begin with a question for you first?
Oh, I thought I was asking the questions.
So let me begin, and then you roll in with the others. So tell me, Atul, you've done this, you've done that, you've been here, you've been there, you've done the entire landscape of India, and you've across all functions in the industry, but let's focus on operations here. Tell me, operations in the West and Northern regions, how do you see the role of a general manager evolving to balance operational efficiency and the guest personalization in metropolitan luxury and economy hotels?
So, thank you, Bhuvanesh. So starting off with me, I'm a privileged one. So the role of general manager has evolved significantly in metropolitan luxury and economy levels hotels both, with an increased focus on balancing operational efficiency and delivering highly personalized guest experiences. Now, by leveraging modern tools and fostering culture of empowerment, GMs are becoming more dynamic, engaging directly with guests, staff, and with the market to ensure excellence in service. So few of the aspects which I feel that I must mention here, which is driving this, in terms of efficiencies and the costs, the integration of the advanced technology. Now, the technology is playing a very, very important role in our operations today, whether it is usage of tools like CRM or Salesforce or any of the artificial intelligence to streamline operations with, for quick and efficient responses to the clientele, because patience is running absolutely thin. That's very important. And this, by doing that, there is a more time in hand of our general managers to concentrate on creating those efficiencies, and that's what is really helping us out. Now, with these technologies, also there are tools available on the digital platforms where we harness the customer feedback from various different channels, and there are various different consolidators who come and help us out on that. And then that's how, with that, with the AI tools in that, we are able to tailor the guest experiences, which is really helping us out. Then in terms of staff, in terms of empowerment of our people, because of control mechanisms are so strong, and we've been able to empower our staff and let them take call on the real time on the shop floor. So that's really helping us out. Then we've also started this journey on the Six Sigma and using the Six Sigma tools and last quite a few number of years, and that's really helped us out, that how you make your operations with least amount of defects. So whether it's product, whether it's process, whether it is, so you collect your data, you come out with the data solution, and then implement it back into the operations. So that's really helps us out. And now with the share of voice and the digital is exploding all across and all that. So we have really improved on our share of voice in the market, driven by innovative marketing campaigns or PR campaigns, and really positioned ourselves at top of the chain. And then obviously these things also do help us, though there are challenges remain in terms of how do I put a little more in my bottom line by increasing pricing but not cutting down on the costs. That's what the biggest challenge remains. So I think the GMs are very well equipped today, and they are empowered to really take the business forward, which is on a great trajectory at this point of time, though with a lot of economic volatility.
Thank you, Atul. Back to you. That was a great response.
Thank you. So I start with the Metropolitan hospitality. It demands a delicate balance between luxury and economy, and where the evolving needs of diverse travelers meet operational challenges. And the general manager of luxury properties in Metropolitan region play a pivotal role in understanding and simplifying complexities to ensure their properties stand out in highly competitive urban markets. So meanwhile, economy hotels must prioritize operational efficiency, offering consistent quality through service like smart check-ins, compact multifunctional rooms. So and also current scenario is that it's a robust recovery which has happened of the industry. At the same time, there is challenges, which is because of economic volatility, inflation, and which is increasing our costs. Because of that, talent is scarce. Talent is not easy to get it. So these are the few of the challenges. So I start with Surinder. Just a moment, where I lost my questions. Yeah, sorry. So Surinder, Taj's approach has about understanding evolving customer needs while staying true to his core values. So your thoughts on bridging luxury and economy, how Taj has managed to cater to diverse customer segments while maintaining brand consistency.
Thank you, Atul. Thank you, Bhuvanesh, and lovely meeting the complete set of panels today. Some of them I've met personally. Atul I know for years, and so is Bhuvanesh. There was a good start by Bhuvanesh and Atul and setting the context. Right now, coming back to IHCL, right? IHCL has been successfully catering to diverse customer segments by creating a harmonized brand ecosystem. Okay, they've kind of been exclusive and yet accessible. Right? I think we moved away from a branded house to house of brands about a decade back. And the latest one being Gateway in his new avatar being added. We've also added Tree of Life and a few other brands in last couple of years, right? So the point here is that IHCL has been really, really agile to understand the need of the customer and able to adapt according to the market requirement that's there, right? That's been really the forte in last so many years. Now, we've always stayed true to our core values when we evolved around our brands, right? So what does that take us to? Firstly, we need to understand the new brand that we create, its philosophies and its requirements, right? And then get it deployed back into the system. We have something else known as BSQA, which is Brand Standard Quality Audit. We are very, 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 very strong. Our senior leadership leads this, and there is a very, very strict monitoring system, monitoring mechanism at the leadership level and at the mid-management level in each of these hotels, right? And so much so that these hotels get a score and they get a level at which they are, and their progress is monitored. We need to ensure that a Gateway or a Vivanta doesn't cannibalize on Taj and vice versa, because it's easy to be aspirational and easy to copy something which is being better in a particular brand, but you have to stay within the boundaries of a particular brand. If you don't do that, then we'll lose the essence of the brand. Now, having said that, we also need to understand what are the customer expectations of that brand, right? It's very easy for a customer to check into a Vivanta and say that, listen, I got this in a Taj hotel in XY city, I'm not getting it in a Vivanta in XY city. So it's important to educate our customers that, listen, this is the brand in a particular city, and this is what is the value proposition for that, right? Now, in large cities, we have multiple brands, right? And every brand has got its brand proposition. So we deliver what we promise, and we deliver more than what we promise. But we have to be within the guidelines of that particular brand. I hope I've answered that, Atul. Is it?
No, it's very, very well articulated, and I must commend the way IHCL is gone on a expansion path, and the way the story is emerging. It's very, very inspiring, and at the same time, the kind of agility this brand IHCL has gone in last few years we've been following, and it's great to see the Indian brand is coming on the top and making those strides. So great, thank you, Surinder.
Thank you, Atul. Thank you.
So slightly a different subject, different point here. I come to Michel on the burning issue of the workforce, of the talent, and the upskilling of the workforce has become a cornerstone of staying relevant in this urban luxury. As guest expectations rise, the need to build a workforce that's both adaptable and specialized has grown exponentially. Investing in training ensures service consistency even in challenging economic conditions. So your thoughts on the role of upskilling, developing a workforce capable of meeting the demands of luxury travelers while adapting to economic constraints. Michel, over to you.
Thank you. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Fully agree. I mean, number one is we take care of our people. Our people take care of our guests, and we all take care of the world, and the rest will fall in place. I'm a really big supporter of developing my workforce, and nowadays we have to do this very different. Actually, there's two different questions here: how we develop our workforce capable of meeting demands of luxury travelers at the same time while we adapt to economic constraints. Let's start with the first question. I think the first thing what one has to do is one has to engage. Without engagement, nothing works. And this starts before you hire them. This is about career pathing. This is about the big picture. Who do I work for? Where do I belong? This is about an open door policy. This is about the work-life balance. This is not like how we did grow up in the industry, where perhaps our work-life balance was slightly different. Then we need to enhance them. So engage, enhance. So how can they grow? At the end of the day, it took us mostly a bit longer to become a general manager. Nowadays, 12 to 18 months, they want to be basically an associate, another 18 months, perhaps a team leader, then an assistant manager in 12 months, and they want to be a manager within 4 or 5 years, correct? And then in 4 to 6 years from then, they want to be a department head, they want to be general manager when they're 32. And guess what? That's what they want, so we better listen to it. So I think we need to really make sure that we maximize our training. Our target is 8 working days per year per employee. Sounds a lot, it's hard work, but it has to be done. We have to make sure that everybody has a personal development review. We have to work out personal development plans. We have to measure. We have to give feedback. We can't stand still. And for some people, it might go a bit faster. So we need to tailor make each and every plan. We have to give them cross exposure, zigzag them in the departments. We have a traditional tendency in a lot of Asian countries to really develop people. Either you're an F&B guy, or you're a rooms guy, or a sales and marketing guy. Guess what? You're a general manager. So you have to actually put your feet in each and every desk, correct? And really understand it. You need to make sure that you let them make mistakes. They're easily bored. There are people who are very smart. They know more about the business than we think. We have to listen to them. We have to learn them how to become team players, because that's most probably once in a while it becomes a bit egocentric. Then after you enhance their skills, you need to empower them, and you better do it fast, because you need to let them get on with the business. I mean, the times of thick policies and procedures are over. You give them boundaries, but let them be creative. Let them think outside of the box. And then you have to reward. We say, catching people doing something right. If everybody says thank you, and it comes from the heart to 5 other people every day, you create a culture and you change an organization. So in a nutshell, we need to change. We need to adapt, because they will not adapt. And this is why we all struggle, I think, with high turnover, with different expectations. And the sooner the better we wake up to this, the more successful we will be.
Thank you, Michel. So what you said is absolutely right. We need to change. We need to adopt. This is a new generation. This is Gen Z, and probably this year onwards, there's a new generation which is coming up. So.
Correct. And I would like to add something now about the second part, correct? I think as a GM, you can't manage your business with your feet under the desk, correct? You need to be out and about. You need to be able that you lead from the front. You need to back up your team. And then, of course, how do we adapt to the economic constraints very quickly, because I know I'm running out of time. But you need to plan your work and work your plan. You need to have very clear long, mid, and short-term goals. You have to think like a hotel owner, correct? At the end of the day, you use technology wisely. You take risk and you measure your success. Manage via critical path, be very organized. You over-communicate and be consistent what you tell them each and every day in each and every encounter. Cash flow is important, but you have to save for a rainy day, correct? 55% GDP, gentlemen, is more than enough. Above that is highway robbery. Invest back into your people and back into your assets. You're an asset manager, and as a GM, that's most probably your most important role, because that's what the owner gives you the trust. So, you need to be respectful, but candid and straightforward to your owner. You have to make sure that you're a manager, so you manage outcomes. But at the same time, you're a coach. You get the best out of your people, and you're a leader. So you set actually the vision, and therefore you need to be aligned with your owner. So actually we're a jack of all trades, lots of fun. And last but not least, in our business is showtime, correct? So have a bit of fun, have a smile, have a laugh. Life is already far too serious. We're an amazing business. Hospitality. Can you imagine being a dentist? Oh my God. So that's it. Enjoy, have fun.
Thank you. That's very, very well articulated. Passion, along with the pain coming out of it. So, so he got that.
No
But
pain, no gain.
yeah, absolutely. But you said it very rightly. We got to do a lot of unlearning and then relearning in handling the new generation in terms of managing this talent. Otherwise, the generation gap is going to create a lot of issues for us going forward. All right. So I move on to Tarun. Tarun, for you, the question is on, the modern guests value a lot of aesthetics and functionality equally. Designs can be strong differentiator in saturated market. So my question and your thoughts on integrated hospitality experiences, offering a blend of luxury accommodation, lifestyle amenities, and curated experience to our captive guests.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Bhalla, and happy to be back in the third season of the BW Hotelier. So Bhuvanesh and team BW, please, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
I think we all can make fancy hotels, and we can all make an amazing investment through a business, which is the foundation for what we operate on day-to-day basis. But I think it's extremely important, since we are on the topic of discussing hospitality, and I think what we truly do as hoteliers are actually custodians of delivering experiences. So I think in the previous session also, I was listening to some of our previous panelists. They really, I think, put together some of the thoughts very well, which was today's day and age, the traveler has actually traveled much more than what it used to be about 20 years ago. So I think the knowledge and nuances of understanding experiences is much better. There is always a craving for more, I think, in luxury. And while we can make fancy lobbies and great architecture, and we will continue to do that, but without the proper, I think, experiences which actually are energizing and from the heart, the customer is not going to be able to enjoy, as much as they would want to in today's day and age. Grand Hyatt Gurgaon, currently the picture that you see of the facade behind me is a 29-acre multi-dimensional complex, which offers a retail space attached with it along with offices. What we've done is that in our sort of a property and our luxury hotel, which is open about after 11 years in heart of Gurgaon, we looked at that, what is it that it can offer other than just providing accommodation. So I think when this was conceptualized about 10, 12 years ago, it kept a lot of aspect of, what it is going to be in 2025, what is it going to be in 2030. So with that, in keeping in mind, I think the hotel provides a lot of experiences in and around. So the new Gurgaon is actually developing from the side of where the hotel starts. So when you come to the hotel, you visit the hotel, you see not just only accommodation, which we will obviously talk a little bit about more, but also provides a lot of retail, which has got a bouquet of hotels, restaurants, and cafes in and around. So which is extremely experiential when you're in a five-star hotel, that you don't have to take a taxi in a city like Gurgaon, where traveling can be horrendous sometimes in the evening as well as in morning. So it provides a holistic approach for the guest who's choosing to stay with us, of having no need to actually sit in the car once you are inside the hotel. You're in and around the entire luxury landscape pretty much around you. What we've also done is that as a company, Hyatt is extremely focused about food and beverage experiences. So food and beverage experience as a lifestyle comes extremely in the forefront for us as an organization. We opened all our restaurant with a little bit of a philosophy that we will continue to do gracious portion size, family style eating concepts, but food is going to be more a la minute cooked. So even when you come to our hotel to attend large scale weddings, and we've done up to over 1,000 people and more weddings already into our hotel. I think one thing extremely important that we kept is that we do not have large chauffeurs in our hotel. So we continue to produce in such a manner that it is more experiential. People enjoy more a la minute sort of an experience. And we have tried, obviously, our level best to deliver the lifestyle through the culinary experience of people who are actually very well traveled. The most important aspect, I think, apart from the luxury, the retail, and the experiences of food and beverage, as a hotel, we are possibly amongst the only hotel, I'm possibly on the peril of sounding a little pompous, but the only hotel which is pet friendly. So we welcome the four-legged family members of our guests into our premise, and we have special actually programs for them as well. When we talk about luxury and lifestyle, I think it's extremely important that it is not limited to where we are offering, and I think it is much beyond that. We've received some amazing, I think, feedback from the guests who've been coming to our hotel, that while some of them actually stay in Gurgaon, choose also to come and stay by taking a little bit of break, because there is tailor-made curated experiences even around for their furry companions. I think these are some of the important aspects which we as a hotel company are focusing on in this 29-acre multidimensional complex. Thank you for asking the question.
Very, very well articulated, and I really admire the way Hyatt is going towards no Schaefer's concept. I've seen that in Mumbai also at the Grand Hyatt, and that's very encouraging. That not only I would bring in a little bit of a sustainability angle also into that you are producing as much as you consuming. So that's phenomenal. Plus the experiences are phenomenal. Your property is it's a multi-dimensional in terms of design, in terms of functionality. So I think it's very well thought of, whoever has designed this hotel, and total thought through. Thank you. Gaurav, the rise of work from anywhere culture has created a demand for seamless transition between business and leisure offering. And customized packages, flexible amenities, and multifunctional spaces are essential to attract the demographic. Loyalty programs and innovative offerings can easily convert first-time leisure guests into the repeat customers. So your thoughts on catering to the leisure traveler, adapting luxury and economy models to the needs of business and leisure travelers in metropolitan areas.
Thank you, Mr. Bhalla, and thank you, Bhuvanesh, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's ours.
It's good to be in this side of the country, and the right question for me, because where I was coming from was Goa, which is completely leisure, a little bit of business. Was there for 6 years, and to ensure that we incorporate that in the business hotel here. I think everybody must have realized that after COVID, it was not only business, it was business with leisure. Be it a staycation with your family, be it just an outing with your friends. I think it was extremely important for every hotel to incorporate some aspect of leisure in while we are doing work. I think even now, even if you have a crew at the hotel, the crew wants to go out, wants to explore what's in the city, wants to find out what's in the hotel. So I think the most important point in getting the bleisure right is understanding what is the bleisure trend. And when I say bleisure, for all of us, it's business and leisure. So I think the most important part for this city is to understand the dynamics. Anybody who comes into Gurgaon has probably another set of things to do while he or she is on business or work. Be it, going to Cyber Hub and visiting some restaurants, or be in the hotel, experience the hotel facilities, just stay, relax, and figure out what he needs to do at the end of the day. I think what is important from every hotel perspective, and I think what we've done well here is we tailor the experiences for any kind of leisure experience. So let's say, for example, we recently renovated our club lounge, and suddenly we've started seeing a lot of people opting for the higher category of rooms, because at the end of the day, they want to spend time at the lounge, invite the guest over, have a drink. We have upgraded our internet from, let's say, a certain bandwidth to double the bandwidth now, considering the fact that all our rooms are on smart TVs and you can connect to, your Netflix or Amazon Prime on the TV and stuff like that. So it's something that we have kind of done to ensure that at the same time, when you are back in your room, you experience the luxury that you want at the end of the day. And I think everyone feels that once they are back in their room, it's their home. So I think, how can we make it better? Uh, Other things that we've kind of tried to do is upgrade our spa facilities. So at the end of the day, if you want to just rest, extend the number of or the working time for our bar. So our bar is 24 hours. So anybody who wants to even have a drink at 4 o'clock in the morning can drop in and have a drink. The other important aspect for a bleisure is to be flexible. So give opportunities like early check-in, late checkout, extended concierge services. So if somebody wants to go to a quick stay in Jaipur or Agra, how can we facilitate that? How can we ensure that the concierge helps out in uh, ensuring that the entire sightseeing is taken care of with the guide services, etc. Let me come to the second part of the question, which is loyalty. And I think loyalty is extremely important for any hotel chain. For IHG, we have 6,000 participating hotels, 19 brands. We have more than 100 million members. What we've been able to do consistently is, increase the member base year on year. What we are able to achieve is we have three different type of loyalty programs. So one is IHG One Rewards, which is what people mainly use to stay at the hotels and get their nights and their points. We also have something called as IHG Dining Deals. This is mainly for people to get a discount on food and beverage, so anywhere from 25 to 30% depending on level of your membership. And we also have a program to recognize the loyalty for the bookers, so which is called as IHG Business Rewards. So I think what we have been able to do is kind of take care of all stakeholders and ensure that we patronize people who would prefer coming back to you, and at the same time ensure that they are loyal to you. I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely. So very well put. And gone are the days when our guests used to come inside sit in the room after 7 o'clock, have a drink from his own bottle and order room service. I think everybody will vouch for it that our IRD, the in-room dining sales are going down. It's the restaurants which are thriving. Everybody wants to be seen around in lively places. So that's a very clear trend which is there, that even if a traveler traveling 20 days a month, he needs to unwind. He needs to have a little bit of entertainment in the evening and all that. And that's the reason why you see Gurgaon what it is today. Whether you go to Fiber Hub, you Sector 29, or go to any place, every place is buzzing at this point of time. So F&B and the entertainment zones are there, and plus the pleasure also brings in additional length of stay, and that's what we need to concentrate on. That's what makes business sense for all of us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, Davinder, over to you. In terms of heritage properties bring in unique charm, but staying relevant requires through thorough modernization. The challenge lies in balancing the old world elegance with comfort and efficiency demanded by modern travelers. So your thoughts on balancing tradition and modernity, preserving the heritage of iconic metro properties while incorporating contemporary elements.
Thank you, Mr. Bhalla. Thank you for the question. I think it suits my property to the best. And thank you, Mr. Khanna, for having me here. Yeah. It's very important in finding a common ground where both the tradition and the modern vibe comes together, While, as it was just said by, Mr. Tarun also, that the traveler today is so well-traveled and so used to facilities that while we are, as traditional as we are, they still want their playful and they still want their space where they can feel ease and comfort. So it's very important for the hotels like, us, who has to maintain the old world charm that we have always had, but at the same time, ensuring that we imbibe in all the latest facilities, all the latest technology, all the latest practices into it, at the same time, to make sure we combine and make a product which apparently delivers the best of the experience while holding on to the charm that we have had over the years. That comfort of the space that we have, that big spaces, whether it's in the lobby or by the pool or by the gardens, we still hold on to that. And it's sometimes we, while maintaining the traditional charm of the property, we do, lose on per square feet revenues that we talk about, because, you really don't try and push every corner of the lobby or every, corner of the hotel to make revenue. You leave some spaces only for the guests to be at leisure, only the guests to have their own space, feel comfortable. But of course, to get the modernization, to have a latest Peruvian or a South American restaurant in a traditional property would apparently add the modernized impact also, but it hold on to the aura of the property it has always had. And at the same time, I think the way we are, or the way the traditional hotels been, it is about the the service level and the staff training and how the culture is being developed within the organization. It's not only the product that delivers that message, it is also the staff which is dealing with the customer delivers the same message, that what is the kind of approach the hotel is taking at the same time. So I believe it is not just a small part to put together to create a balance between the two. It is rather to have create a story, create a dialogue, complete dialogue, which actually delivers the impact and the emphasis of both sides together at the same time, where the guest is given that particular feel while ensuring that all the services, all the facilities, safety, security, hygiene, all the aspects are being taken care of while delivering along with the allure of the old world charm at the same time. That's what I feel about it.
Thank you. So yeah, you rightly said, the older property, the charm is the service, the way you have preserved the heritage part of it, but at the same time, the facilities have been modernized. And that makes all the difference, because somewhere or the other products will become old, and how well you maintain it, that's what, and there are live examples all across the world.
Absolutely.
The older properties, how well they do and how well they take care of it. So that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Atul, I'll take a 30-second commercial break here, and then we'll circle back for a question with you.
Thank you.
All right. Excellent. So we're back here. We've had a good first session. We're at the midway stage. We're just a little off time, but that's fine. We have the luxury of spilling over a little in the second show. But let me come back to you, Atul, with a second question, if I may. We're really worried about talent. This industry, Michel's also spoken about it. I think we need to put our energies and our focus behind building talent, nurturing talent, and getting in new resources. How do we sell the hospitality industry as a preferred career opportunity? Your views.
So this is, I guess, the biggest pain point or point
challenge.
Biggest challenge, and Michel covered it quite extensively in his first session. And we've been doing a lot of thinking in terms of the few data points in terms of how the intake in the hospitality institutes has been in last couple of years. It's come down drastically down to 58-60%. So your 40% of the seats are going vacant. So why is it that happening? There is a deterioration which has taken place over the years. The way we have used this something called catering college as only as a workforce and not as a future for our industry, and that's where we all are at this point are suffering. But yes, there are a lot of strides being taken now in terms of skilling, in terms of short-term skilling, in terms of these colleges going into tier 2, tier 3 cities and picking up people from those regions. So there are pretty few departments where you get people very easily. Where if you see I'm sure my panelists will bail me out on that the kind of interest with the kitchen has generated, because every youngster who thinks who is good at kitchen, he wants to become a chef, and that's thanks to the social media, thanks to OTT, thanks to Master Chef kind of shows, and the number of shows which are coming up and all that. It's a form of art which is coming out, and that's the reason the quality of talent which is available in the market in production is coming out. That's very evident. And even if we did certain programs and all that, our intake was 80% was in the production, F&B production. So that's there are takers for that. So coming back to what do we need to do in terms of going, and we have started also going to not only catering colleges, but we started going to regular colleges, even to the schools. This year, like we had covered 350 schools and colleges altogether for our campuses. So that the talent is available, and you don't know till the time you go, make them self-aware that what all career options are available and what hotel industry means and what is this industry. This is a rising industry, definitely, the kind of growth which is taking. It is just that we have to show them the green, complete career path, show them what are the perks of working in the hotel in terms of travel benefits, in terms of cultural exposures, in terms of dynamic work environments. It's not a mundane work. It's different opportunities which keeps coming up. And hotels is not only working in hotels, but you are opening the door to entire service industry. So these are the selling points which all of us are trying to do now, and a lot of creativity in terms of in any area, and the perception of the hotels, and then in terms of work-life balance, in terms of number of hours. Most of us have become extremely careful now that nobody works more than 8-9 hours a day. Get your regular offs, what you're supposed to get. We monitor those things, whether it's for regular staff or whether it's for the interns or for any form of training. It's very important to do that so that they carry a great impression and they become the ambassadors back into the society that this is a great industry to work for. So these were the few points which I thought, and plus, even like I've been asked to do a nice video of myself from my college where I passed out from IHM, so that they want to go back to the schools that look at the alumni of this college, so they get inspired with that. So they're looking at all of us who are in the industry to go and promote the college. So that's a good thing to do. This should have been done long time back. Never late.
Yeah, true. I think people are waking up to the challenges that we face. So, back to you, Atul. Now you'll carry through with Surinder first.
Yeah. So I'll change the order now.
Hanji kar do.
So I'll go back to Michel. So, Michel, urban luxury demands a sharp focus on personalized experiences and quick adaptations of trends. So, question to you and your thoughts on redefining service excellence in urban luxury. How metropolitan properties can elevate service to stand out in the saturated markets?
Okay. I mean, I think this is a great question. I think we're lucky, by the way, here in this market that we have such an undersupply, correct? So I think we all start to do our 80%, and the biggest mistake we can make that we become complacent because business is so good. But I looked up, what is luxury? Luxury is a state of great comfort or elegance, especially when it involves a great experience. So I'm not going to bore you with all of the good stuff, what we do, and we all do amazing jobs in our hotels. But the question is, how are we going to touch the hearts and minds of our guests, correct? It's here. That is hospitality. You know, and yes, the basics: cleanliness, safe and secure hotel, friendly and comfortable check-in and check-out, and the best breakfast. The rest are all cherries on the cake. So how do we create that culture? I always come back to my people, correct? How do we create the right team with the right culture, working along the right values? Because we all can achieve our goals, but how do we achieve them? That's the name of the game. If we let our staff work stupid hours, if we have a lousy employee restaurant, if we don't have enough uniforms, if we don't provide the tools, if we work with second-rate equipment which breaks down, then that's why we lose people in our industry. You know, we have to have a culture of see a problem, own a problem. You know, we have to go Six Sigma, go to the root cause. Stop slapping the TV, gentlemen. We have to fix it. We have to go back to basics. You know, we're in a simple business. It's about eating, drinking, sleeping, and a bit of entertainment. And we make it highly complicated, correct? We have to make sure that every guest leaves with an amazing story, correct? That they say, wow, that was special. And we need to actually stimulate and motivate our team to do that extra mile. We cannot control them. Let them make mistakes. Give them the empowerment to fix problems. You have to understand where you want to play, correct? You know, guess what? Some of us work in amazing hotels. In other cases, you know, you need to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunity, and your threats of your team and of your products. I think it's important as well that, you know, we deliver unique experiences. We shouldn't be cookie cutters. We have to think outside of the box. And, you know, we have to make sure that, you know, if we want to touch the heart and minds of our guests, yeah, that we at the same time, you know, we should really capture on our strengths, the spirit and the pace. I think you said it, Atul. People are very short of time. Time is money. So we have to deliver. We have to get things done. Make mistakes, no problem. You make the best guests and the best friends of people who had complaints. It's important that luxury travelers, especially, and I see the change. I came back after 6 years, correct? When I was here last time, 70-30, now 30-70. So you have lots of Indian travelers who actually are very well-to-do, who most probably at their own home have their own chefs, their own basically cleaners, their own basically security guards. So they have very high expectations. And, you know, in those circumstances, they don't have guest history. The things just get done. Yeah, people, you know, think on their feet. You know, we say, show me, you know me. You know, it's all about how we communicate when there is a problem. You know, how we make sure that we give service which is in the moment, not in your face, correct? How you step away, correct? And, you know, and because for us and for many of our guests, luxury is space and me time for myself. Hotels should actually be a rejuvenating experience. You know, we are lucky. You know, people stay in 5-star luxury hotels and it's a pleasure. So, you know, I think you cannot please every guest. And as a general manager, that's where you draw the line, correct? And therefore your pricing is very important. You price yourself too low, you get the wrong crowd, which is fine. It's a choice. The only constant in life is change. So we continuously have to adapt. You know, we cannot stand still. In F&B, you work seasonal, farm to table, you respect the environment, you cook fresh, you make sure there's not a lot of waste. And, you know, you foster partnership with your suppliers. I think, you know, after COVID, we dropped the ball, or during COVID, we let our suppliers just, you know, sorry, mate, we can't pay the bill. Now we pay the price. So I think that it's all about teamwork. And of course, you know, we have to have eye for detail. We use technology well. We manage, you know, our expenses and we maximize our revenues. But, you know, the most important thing, we allow our guests to continue to do what they love doing. Yeah, in a hotel where they feel they belong. Yeah, so that they always return. And I think that's the name of the game. You measure your success on returning guests. You do your great big fat Indian weddings, and hopefully out of every wedding, you get 3 other weddings. Then you do a good job. So that for me is luxury.
Thank you. Thanks for your detailed response. And then you said, give them a playground and watch them. Thank you. That's great. Surinder, coming back to you on Gurgaon, Gurugram's position as a business hub. So leveraging Gurugram's business hub status, the role of strategic location in driving occupancy and reputation in a competitive market.
Atul, we've seen Gurgaon, at least I remember Gurgaon in our catering college days when, you would call this as cross-border, right? And we would visit this border for obvious reasons that we all know, okay, which was restricted in Delhi, right? From those days to today, I think Gurgaon has come out to be a brilliant, dynamic, great solution for corporates across the globe, right? Now, it is no secret that for hotel or for a success of the hotel, it is location, 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 and location. I think if you got the location right, you kind of handle 50% of the problem, right? Now, if we come to Gurgaon, NH8 was the first CBD that is created. And I'm so happy to see that after a decade, there is so much of development that is happening on the left and right of NH8. And all our great friends on this panel and some who are not there are taking amazing advantage of that because the rates are high, the demand is high. So for Gurgaon, that's the first CBD. Immediately after that is the Huda Citycentre, which is the second circle set of CBD. And that's where Taj Citycentre Gurugram is. And adjacent to this is golf course, golf link road, and then is the SPR road, right? So that's how an SPR and Sona Road will become the new CBD of Gurgaon, and Tarun's hotel and a few more coming that side will probably gain when that whole thing develops there, right? So for a hotel to do well, okay, the proximity to the whole corporate ecosystem is important. That's point number one. Okay. Point two, I would say, is that there has to be easy accessibility to the key infrastructure of the whole city, right? I mean, you have to be close to your port, right? Number one, you need to have great road network. This new Mumbai Expressway that has started is seen so much of a reduction of time travel to Jaipur. It now takes 3 hours from my hotel to a Taj Jaipur hotel, okay, which was earlier taking 5.5 hours. So you can actually do a day trip if you want to. Now you have to leverage all this to your strategic advantages, right? You have to create your products and offerings so that you can get some strategic advantage out of all this as per your location. Leisure we spoke about. All this will good road infrastructure, great airports, great connectivity through metros. I don't know how much of you know of the work that is happening at the Dwarka link road. There are multiple underpasses which are going to ease the traffic problem.
Yeah, we are waiting for that to happen so that life becomes easy.
Right now, it is a mess.
A month from now, all the airport traffic doesn't have to touch that and will come out of Rajokri and vice versa. You could reach Vasant Vihar through underpass from there and vice versa. So I think those are all great development plans, and that's what boosts the occupancy and the rates and ultimately the moolah for the hotel, right? I'm just saying that if you got the location right, you kind of held the bull by its horn. Mind you, it comes at a cost, right? The CBT zone there is at a very different cost. And what's available in real estate where Tarun is sitting is a very different cost. So if you evaluate all that and put them in the right buckets and do your own economics, find your own answers, right? But I think location is the key.
Yeah, so sometimes you take advantage of location and sometimes you create location. So that's both are part of our business. So I think that's the bigger role of a development plan.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Surinder.
So, Gaurav, I'm going to ask you something very different now. On the CapEx, on a proper CapEx planning for especially aging assets. Quick response on that.
Sure. So I think I was fortunate enough to open some hotels and work for hotels that are more than 20 years old. The current hotel that I am in is a 17-year plus hotel. I think what is extremely important is how do you plan your capex for the next 5 years or 10 years. I think it's extremely important that you focus on what your guest feedback is to what actually needs to have a technological, upgradation. So I think from that perspective, depending on which hotel you work for, be it 4% or 7% of your GOP that goes into capex, you need to plan that extremely well. So I think, and you will see the results the moment you do it. So let's say, for example, you upgrade your ballroom or you upgrade your rooms. You immediately see it in your guest satisfaction. You immediately see it in your overall ADR improvement as such.
Thanks. Yeah, that's all aging products always have this dilemma, and how to convince the owning boards that we need to really put in money to get more money out. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Davinder, for you, a question is how to balance owner expectations with operational excellence. That's again a very, very pertinent point with all our when we deal with our owners in terms of operational excellence. How do you convince them?
It's a very tight line, and it's a very an appropriate question for me to answer apparently. But having said that, I think the owners these days, we're talking about all the guests, the owners, these are very well traveled. They apparently know the product worldwide, and they know, what is available in the market. It's very crucial for us to present to our owners that where do we actually strategize to place our hotel, at what RevPAR, at what market level, what is our client base, what is the service level we want to offer, and what are the expectations out of that. As the business excellence, definitely there are many parts which is majorly we call it, which is available at the the hotel operational front, and we are the stakeholders for that, which is in terms of the driving the culture, or managing your employees, staff, guest relations, handling, experience, SOPs, all that. Wherever the support of the owners is required, there, as Gaurav very well said, that we need to actually plan for next 5 to 10 years, that what is our future course of action and where do we want to take our hotel to? What is the future aspect or future goal that we are keeping together to achieve in times to come? There are certain things which is totally non-negotiable, which concerns the safety and security of the all the stakeholders. That is something which goes without any doubt, that should be the first priority to be addressed in discussion with the owners and directors. And second should be the basic facilities to all the guests and the staff. All the stakeholders that we connect with, we have to ensure that they all are being basically taken care of. Then comes the point of taking your company or taking your property to the level next. What kind of excellence, what kind of technology you want to drive in, what kind of product yet that you want to create, and what is the outcome that you're expecting from it. It is equally important that when you actually put your any kind of the service excellence or any kind of excellence in operations to the management or to the ownership, the same time the end results, the GOP, the returns has to also be verified and presented. And then, if we are confident, and I'm sure most of the owners with the current scenario, when people are saying that it's a booming market, and as we are discussing that there isn't enough inventory that's coming up soon to threaten us. So it's important that, and it is very viable for every hotel or company to have a up-to-date or a latest technology equipped product to give best of these services to all the guests and best of the returns. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, very well put, because owner will always look at ROI. So until unless we don't back it up with ROI, any suggestion is of no use.
True.
So thank you. So Tarun, question to you is on the architectural innovation. How design and infrastructure impact guest perception and operational efficiency in a competitive metro landscape?
Thank you. Thank you once again, Mr. Bhalla. So I think my property and the building facade that you all see behind me, I think is the right, I think, answer to what we're trying to explore today. So Grand Hyatt Gurgaon is, like I said, is one of the tallest hotels in Delhi NCR. It exemplifies architectural excellence by combining two very prominent firms in the world, which is Foster's Partners from London, who's done the architect of some of the famous buildings in London, including the Shard, and the globally renowned Tony Cheese Associates from New York, who's done a lot of hotels once again outside India, Ritz-Carlton to Mandarin to Four Seasons. So it was his first project in India that was done, and you know how this entire multidimensional project has come to life is that it has actually weaved the narrative of modernity with actually some cultural heritage inside it. So a lot of you will see plush, very old stuff as well inside the hotel, which is in terms of Persian carpets dating to maybe 100 years old, to the most modern systems that have been adapted by any hotel in Delhi NCR. So I think it's a because it's the newest hotel, it has some of the advanced technology and a multidimensional aspect to everything today that a global hotelier can, a global traveler can actually see. What are the three pillars possibly for a luxury in a multidimensional building as ours? Is height, light, and space. So the moment you enter a hotel, you see a 50 feet high ceiling, you see natural light coming from all corners, and the space how we have actually used. The designers put a lot of concept behind keeping the lobby very warm rather than making it feel very overwhelming to a lot of guests who enter sometime a five-star hotel. So I think it's extremely important that architecture and design will continue to, I think, disrupt. And since the nature of the business is such that there'll always be a traveler who'd like to go and explore the heritage hotels, but there's always going to be a traveler who'd love to come to a modern hotel like ours, where right from the guest room to public area toilets are all by Toto washlets. And gentlemen on the call, in 5 degrees temperature, you would well imagine that if you start your day on a Toto washlet, that can be the most comforting experience for anyone in 10 degrees of weather or 5 degrees of weather, because these are all automated systems that we have in our hotel. So I think design, sustainability, and architecture will be a big disruptor. And I think we will continue to look at how we can continue to deliver now with the product that we have in our hand, the experiences which will be infused inside the hotel. So thank you.
So, Tarun, I'm coming to your hotel for staycation. Now you sold it so much to me.
No, I'm coming for the Toto washlets.
So, Bhuvanesh, we have time for a couple more.
We have time for one quiz.
Okay, so I'll do this. This needs to be a quick answer by each one of you. So at any order. So which is our again a point which
short cryptic responses.
Yeah, very one-liners.
Yeah.
So what is an acceptable GOP level for, say, since all of you are in this region, so in NCR, so let's stick to that. What is the acceptable GOP level?
Can I go ahead?
Yeah.
No, Michel, go ahead. Michel, you said
52. 52% is very acceptable. The rest, put it back in your team, in your staff, in your product. 52%.
Okay.
So
Surinder?
the answer is depends where you're working and who's your asset manager. Thank you.
I would say the owners don't take the percentages, they'll take the money at the bank. So it's about expectation, not percentages.
So Surinder has been very careful that owners catch him that you said this much, why are you not delivering so much?
Great.
All right. Tarun?
Yeah, I think I'll say that it is all about the money at the bank rather than percentages. So I think percentages can be sometime deceptive. It's the owner expectation which should be at the beginning of the year or before the year ends, should be setting the tone for the next year. We will have to have a partner and collab approach to tell the owner that what is it every year can't be the same, and every year can't be obviously low and high. So I think it's about the owner managing the owner expectation by telling them clearly that you don't take percentages to bank, you will take absolute money to bank.
Good. Thank you. Gaurav?
I think I've been fortunate, even with the older hotels, we were able to deliver anywhere from 50 to 52%. So I would say anything more than 50% is great. Anything less than 45% in my experience is not acceptable by the owners.
Okay.
I would,
Davinder?
yeah, I would say it's 1.5% more than the previous year. That's what the owners expect every year to increase it.
Oh, that's the best
But
answer.
where do you stop?
That's
Where
the
do you
best
stop?
answer.
You stumped us
No,
now.
but I think probably I would say, depending upon the how old the hotel is and many other factors putting it together, what is your infrastructure and how you are laid out, I think decides it majorly, because I'm shocked to see the payroll cost of many hotels across the when I compare. And I always find it difficult that, as Michel also said, that we need to take care of our staff and take care of team members. And then at the same time, when we are talking about such compressed payroll cost, I really get worried sometimes that how are we achieving that? Probably there is something definitely missing over there. But having said that, probably I feel 47 to 48% is an acceptable number.
शुक्र है कुछ तो बोला
हाँ जी
शुक्र है कुछ तो बोला पहले तो 1.5% you said
1.5% more than last year.
I know that can be catchy. All right, what about you, Atul? What is your take?
I need to show growth every year. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to show a growth. It all depends.
Can I add some? I think can I add something?
What if you slipped in the previous year?
So that's okay. But that
when you miss the previous year, go to the year before that.
Yeah,
that's okay. I need to give a consistent growth, and plus obviously you have to relate that to the market conditions.
Atul, if we can let's do one more, but in no long lines, short lines for responses.
I am expert in that.
Hanji, karo.
So, okay, I'll give me a yes or no answer then.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we doing in terms of price in our market according to the global ADR benchmarks? Are we in line with global ADR benchmarks or we are not? Just give yes or no answer.
Definitely
No.
We are
Not.
No.
I think
So,
as per the
yes,
survey, sorry, go ahead.
Go on. No, go on.
So as per the survey in 2023, the global ADR was somewhere close to $150 and India was at $85. So that's the variance that.
But 23, I think, was a COVID affected year. 23 India was pretty bad, I would say.
23 was the best year.
Not for the ADRs, I know. First,
not for the ADRs.
Year, it was ADRs picked up in this last quarter of 2023. But the first 2 quarters were bad on the ADRs, I believe. That was my scenario, maybe different for you.
Surinder, what about you?
I would take more than 30 seconds on this. Let's divide this into 3 markets: East, Asia, and West.
Exactly.
If you compare yourself to West, then
Yes.
all these answers are right. But if you compare yourself to the East, then I think you're carving your own market. What's happening is that today a lot of leisure is moving towards the East because of high price points in India, right? So
I was going to tell you that.
On chasing the ADR. It's good. Everybody wants it. I want it. Every brand wants it. Every boss wants it. Every asset wants it. But it's going to come at a cost. Okay. Please put that on the scale and check the numbers of the millions of dollars which are going outside this country on weddings and MICE and leisure travel. That's it. Thank you.
So just a data point on what has happened in Goa market. That's the answer. All of you would have read reports from Goa market, and Goa has driven away certain set of Indians out of the country.
Absolutely.
So we need to, what is the elasticity in our areas that we need to be very careful of.
And throw in the element of air ticket.
That's where the biggest problem is in Goa.
That's where the problem is.
If I may add on to this small thing, probably it's not only the area, but probably the kind of, the inclusion of the services that we are ramping up or giving additionally while we are taking those rates up has to be a very important part. It's not only one way that we are talking about areas, on the other side, we are just talking about the GOP. Probably the both has to just mean, accordingly manage to have the end product or the service facility that is suited to the kind of rates that we are asking for.
Chalo. So
May I
let's
say
open a good session.
May I say one thing? I think where we
Please,
really lacking
Michel.
is in the luxury part of the business.
Yeah.
I think when you look at true luxury hotels and our rates compared to the rest of the world, that's where we have a big gap. I think economy, mid-scale, premium, okay, but we go luxury, that's where we really struggle, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So thank you, Bhuvanesh.
So Atul, let's have you sum up the show.
Sure.
I think, yeah, go ahead, please.
So thank you very much. And it's been a wonderful discussion. The panelists have been very, very live and agile, and some beautiful points which came out and though thought-provoking. And that demonstrated that Metropolitan Hospitality thrives on a delicate balance of strategy, innovation, and excellence. And to audience, whoever is watching, I think you would have had a very fruitful session from our eminent panelists and the thoughts which came across. And stay tuned for more episodes. Bhuvanesh, what you do, and BW Hotelier, what you do. You guys been doing an amazing job of this, and I think it's a great learnings for youngsters, learning for practicing managers to to connect with the industry and listen to those thoughts, so that it's a sharing of ideas. It's very important that we all go through that. So until next time,
Thank you.
signing off. Thank you.
All right, now let me just come in over here. You see, a lot of people have told me you should be doing this show on ground physically. So the very reason why I'm doing this virtually is because the reach is so much that children and the impressionable and the wannabe hoteliers can watch it. Where else do you get to see such high performance professionals, with such loaded experience, global experience? They've done brands, they've done all that between them. If I was to see this show, we almost have more than 250 to 300 years of experience, right? So great show. Let me thank Atul for some great moderation. Atul, you're a star. You really pulled this well, right? Thank you for being there on the show. Your inputs have been stellar. And let me also thank each one of you. Let me begin with Michel. Michel has just come back after how many years, Michel? 6 years?
6, 7 years, yeah.
6 years, yeah. So I must tell you, the first BW Hotelier IHA was done by Michel, and even the second one. So and that was at the Leela Gurgaon. Thank you, Surinder, for being here. Thank you, Tarun, Davinder, Gaurav. Gaurav, you get well soon. And you guys are true and worthy ambassadors of not just your respective brands and hotels, but of India and this industry. This industry is beautiful. For all of you who are watching, where else would you get such smart managers? They are entrepreneurs in their true right. They carry the weight of hundreds of crores of worth of investment in each hotel, right? They give employment to hundreds of people, direct and indirect, and they run fancy hotels. They rub shoulders with celebrities, with heads of state. This is a career that each one of you should be going for. And I will not even talk about compensation. This industry pays very well, and they're all smiling, right? No, and why not? Because they are 24/7. They're on the job, and they also have a good work-life balance. So come in over there. Thank you, Team BW Hotelier, for pulling this off. Team BW. This year, we are doing 2 shows every day, 4 shows a week, every Thursday and Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. We're live on bwhotelier.com, our YouTube channel, and across the 4 social media. I don't have to name them. You know them all. Be there tomorrow at 4 p.m. Another set. We are going to the West. We'll be in Mumbai tomorrow with 2 shows. Thank you all. Don't go away. Let me thank Diversity. Diversity, thank you for holding a hand. You putting your money where the mouth is. You're supporting this industry, and that means a lot. Let's see the Diversity video. Thank you all. Thank you again. Bye-bye, Atul, Surinder, Tarun, Davinder, Gaurav, last but not the least, Michel.
Thank you.
So happy to have you back in India. Now stay here. Make this your home. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
everybody.
all.
Bye-bye.